Hey guys, KShadow here. Sorry that I haven't been doing that many Let's Plays of RWBY. RWBY as a Ruby the character, but I've been doing a lot of other stuff, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying spreading my horizons a bit, and we're definitely going to be doing something a little bit different today. And I'm just doing something new, and this basically is just going to be a test fire situation just to see how everyone appreciates this. It's a new section I like to call KShadow Squad Talks. Basically, I just have a group of just me, KShadow, and a few of my friends finding a topic, discussing it, possibly disagreeing, possibly agreeing, whatever it is, and just seeing how everything goes out. And if we disagree, we let you choose the final outcome in the comment sections down below. So without that further ado, let me introduce my special guests, aka Crow and Jean from Drunkle Crow, aka Drinks with Crow and Jean. Say hi, guys.
Yo.
Hey guys.
Woo! Yeah, so today we're going to be discussing something that I kind of hinted to in some of my speed paints as of like a few days ago. So this is going to be uploaded a few days ahead of a few days after my speed paints went up, which is now being played during this discussion. So basically what we're discussing is putting different RWBY characters into Hogwarts houses. And so, without further ado, let's do it. Let's start with team. Yeah!
All right.
That was
Don't
so
sound too
pathetically bad. It's like everybody do the pathetic yay. Yeah.
Let's try not to be too excited here.
At least we're not.
Down.
At least they're not falling off the couch being drunk like Crow over here.
It only happened once.
That we know of. But
You're supposed to be on my side, kiddo.
when did I say that? Okay. All right. First team we're discussing tonight is Team RWBY. What a shocker.
Yep.
Yeah, what a shocker.
With the beginner. Gotta start with the beginning.
Yes.
Well, of course.
And we're going to be starting with the character I identify as everyone in the audience knows, Ruby Rose. And I think when we were discussing this for the first time, we pretty much decided she could either be a Hufflepuff or a Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Do you guys?
Yeah, I remember that. It's very, very, very even spread there for either Hufflepuff or Gryffindor, based on her personality and her character itself. She's very much fits with both houses.
Yeah.
Yes, and especially with the point that she's the leader of Team RWBY, and she tries to keep everyone together, and the Hufflepuff point of view, where she just cares about everybody. She just wants to remain with them.
And what a lot of people don't seem to realize is that the actual voice actress of RWBY actually kind of confirmed that RWBY would be a Hufflepuff if she was in the Harry Potter universe.
Yeah, straight on. It was in a interview. I believe it was for RTX Australia. Someone actually asked the question, and she said, in her own words, she would be in Hufflepuff. Though she did beat around the bush for it. She did say that she would be in Hufflepuff.
And a lot of people would make the argument for color and everything. But in all honesty, for Hufflepuff, it makes the most sense to me. Because one, she's super hardworking. She is 14 or 15, and she gets accepted into Beacon a whole year earlier.
I think it was closer to 2 years, kiddo, because I think
Either
Beacon's
either
normal
1 or
age
2
is
years.
yeah. I think the normal age to get into Beacon is 17.
Either 17 or 16, around that age gap. But
Right.
she worked her butt off to get into Beacon Academy, and her hard work finally paid off. And also, I'm not sure if this qualifies for anything, but she also really likes to eat.
Yeah, and with the house ghost of Hufflepuff being the fat friar, after all.
Yep, and
also eating all the chocolate chips before you put them in the cookies, Ruby.
and I'm not sure if you would agree with this, but would you say that Ruby is a good finder? Because that's another good attribute of Hufflepuffs.
Yeah, I would say so. Even though she has the attention span of a coked up squirrel,
Hey!
she
Not to mention a crater face.
She definitely has the hard work, patience, and that is Hufflepuff. But at the same time, going into the effect that we were discussing before of her also possibly being Gryffindor, she has the bravery and the courage that they're known for, that she never backs down.
Yeah. And I think what mostly makes me think of Hufflepuff for her is like comparing her to Cedric. Like Cedric, I never remember his freaking last name. God damn it.
Diggory,
thank you. Oh my god, I couldn't remember his name. But she and Jean remind me of Cedric in so many ways. That's part of the reason why I think of them as Hufflepuffs.
Poof, poof, poof.
Yeah, and she's a Ruby Puff.
No, she's gonna get her own cereal brand now. Ruby Puffs.
Ruby Puffs, just the way that Ruby Rose likes it.
Chocolate chip and strawberry flavored.
Talk about that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Get it today. Anyway, let's move on to Jean's first crush, aka Ice Queen, aka Weiss.
Snowflake. I'm still going to hold true on this one in my belief. She's either Slytherin or Ravenclaw.
Yeah, I put down in our notes that for Weiss, she could be a Ravenclaw or a Slytherin, but I'm leaning more toward Slytherin because she's just very proud of her lineage and quote unquote bloodline, that it makes it hard for her not to be a Slytherin and how ambitious she is to be the best at everything in her class and all of that stuff. And
right.
And her getting, especially we got pissy at the fact that Ruby became the leader of Team Ruby, that she got super pissy about that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
definitely it. She wants the leadership, she has the ambition, but in the same manner she has the intelligence and the learning and wit that Ravenclaw look for.
Yeah. And and the one thing that a lot of people, like, I'm not sure if anyone in my audience really knows this about Harry Potter, but when I was doing research about like the Sorting Hat and everything, it
likes to eat hair.
No. But what usually is mostly attributed through the sorting of each student is that it's either they're either sorted into a house of the trait that they most honor or the trait that they most aspire to be.
It's the trait, I believe it's the trait that they most show, their biggest trait.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why, like, I'm going to bring up another Harry Potter reference. Wow. And that's part of the reason why Neville was put into Gryffindor because he at first wasn't very brave, but was shown at the very beginning of the freaking series that he can be brave and courageous. Stuff like that, just small little things that say, oh, you were put in Hufflepuff because you want to be a hard worker and you are aspiring to be a hard worker. Something like that. And that's part of the reason why I see a few of these characters later on, you'll get what I mean. But for Weiss, her in Slytherin makes the most sense to me.
I can agree in it. And one of the things in the Philosopher's Stone, I remember the hat itself stated that Slytherins will do anything to get their way.
Right.
Yeah, and if I may read a quote from Professor Slughorn, that basically the best way to describe a Slytherin is, us Slytherins are brave but not stupid. Given the chance, we will always choose to save our own necks. And in all honesty, I can kind of see Weiss doing that at the very beginning of the series.
Right.
Yeah. Now, you did cut out a little bit there, kiddo. But
great.
I think, hey, it's all right. We can get it. We can handle it. It's not a problem. But you're right. The Slytherins would fit well for Weiss. The only thing she doesn't have really with them is she ends up she does change in her personality, but Slytherins have shown that they do that as well. They may have the resourcefulness and that ambition, but they are not above admitting when they are wrong.
Yeah, and fun fact about me, guys, is the fact that I actually took the test on Pottermore, and guess what? I'm a Slytherin.
I thought you were a badger. Badger, mushroom.
So, to everyone that says Slytherins are bad, no.
You are bad.
Bad people. Bad. Anyway, let's move on to our kitty girl, Blake. Let's move on to Blake. For her, we chose either Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff. And a lot of people are just going to be like,
behind Ravenclaw for it.
A lot of people are going to be like, oh, of course, Blake for Ravenclaw. She's so booksy and smart and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people, and I definitely see that for Blake, what she admires most about people is being accepted and intelligence.
Right.
And she wants people to accept her and not judge her based on the fact that she is a faunus.
Yeah.
And it's in the same manner with that aspect, you could state that she also envisions a part of Hufflepuff in her with looking for the loyalty, that she is extremely loyal to those she cares about.
And she's very loyal to her cause, too.
Right.
For faunus equality.
However, I still am going to stick next to Ravenclaw because of her wit, and the main values for them, like we said, is intelligence, creativity, wit, and all that. And Blake has that in spades.
Yes.
Right.
And if people in the comments section say that they see Blake as a Hufflepuff, let us know. Start a discussion. We like
it.
We want to know.
We welcome the comments.
We crave the comments.
These are our opinions and thoughts based on what we have researched lately.
Yes. And now the last team member of Team RWBY,
Firecracker.
Big Sis Yang Xiaolong. And for my notes, we put down either a Slytherin or a Gryffindor. And I think it's unanimous for us that we chose a Gryffindor, but we definitely understand the argument for Slytherin.
Yeah, the reason I agreed with Gryffindor is the chivalry, the bravery, and the courage, and Yang embodies that completely. She never backs down. She says her mind, kicks ass, and doesn't give two rats' asses what people think about her or what she's doing. She does it. She does it because she knows she has to, and she does it because, well, she's our little firecracker.
Yeah, and also I think in volume like the beginning of volume 2, she admitted that she's a thrill seeker and doesn't back down from challenges. That's part of the reason for Gryffindor, but I also see a little bit of Slytherin in her because of the fact that she's not really like book smart, but she's street smart.
She also has the resourcefulness that Slytherin looks for.
Yeah.
And actually, guys, I'm gonna throw another one in here. I'm gonna throw Hufflepuff in here as well, and here's why. Because she said it in, like, I think it was season 5 when they're getting ready to, go to, I think it's going to Haven, and when she says, wherever, like, if RWBY stays, then I'll stay too. Her sense of loyalty to RWBY.
Yeah,
and
that's a very good point.
That point is definitely, Yang literally could go into any of the 4 houses. Mostly because she embodies one of each of their values.
I could see the Sorting Hat spending at least an hour or so on Yang. And
I could just see the Sorting Hat go, yeah, you know what, fuck it, I quit.
Either that or Yang just going, which house has the best color or matches my hair?
Which would end up being Hufflepuff with the gold and black.
Yeah, and
Hufflepuff,
and she would
it's
probably
official, everyone. Hufflepuff is Team Bumblebee.
That's one way to look at it, yeah. All right. Next team, Team Juniper.
Oh God!
Yay, Juniper berries.
And we're starting off with Johnny Boy himself.
Of course, me. Yep.
You are the leader, kid. Even if you did suck at first, you still are a decent leader. I'll give you that.
Yes, he is a good leader.
And we've already figured out that I'm going to be most likely Hufflepuff, most definitely.
We put down Gryffindor or Hufflepuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
But mostly leaning towards Hufflepuff because of the fact that, as I said before, Jean reminds me a lot of Cedric, and he also reminds me a little bit of Neville too for the Gryffindor side, because at the very beginning of the series, Jean wants to become stronger and works his butt off to get there.
It's why you have no butt, kid. It's why the ladies look at you and think you're a stick.
Oh, shut up, you drunken asshole.
But yeah, I'm going to agree, kiddo. The hard work that John shows and his sense of justice and loyalty scream Hufflepuff. Though at the same time, his courage and bravery to not back down scream Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Especially when I tried to 1v1 Cinder. Yeah, that was real Gryffindor of me.
Yeah. Even though you almost died, but oh well.
He nearly cost you twice.
Yeah, but it was a thought that counts. You tried. You tried. You tried. I get it.
I'm gonna throw the crow coin. My vote is going to go into Hufflepuff for Jean.
Yeah, it seems like Hufflepuff, but if you guys want give us good reasoning for Gryffindor, let us know.
Or even one of the others.
Yeah, because I remember when we first talked about this, we actually were debating Slytherin too, because of the fact that Jean actually faked his transcripts to get into Beacon.
Hey!
Yeah, you little bastard.
Hey! Hey! Nobody has to know about that.
Well, sorry. Sorry.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Crater face.
Hey! But anyway, next house, next person, the lovely Nora Valkyrie.
Nora was a difficult one to really.
Slytherin.
You say Slytherin, kiddo?
I actually say Gryffindor.
You say Gryffindor, he says Slytherin.
All right, Jean, you go first and say why Slytherin.
Slytherin because of the fact that she thinks very highly of herself, especially when it came to season 5. She goes, I thought I was pretty good in school, and not just that, but she's just so like she just wants to go in and fight, and how do I put this? She like when she was fighting Hazel, and she goes like, "I don't need him," to her, "I just need him to go down," and she just didn't give a damn. She just hit him with all of her might, and she just really, she just wants to keep striving to get stronger and not giving a damn.
In that manner, yeah, I'm gonna say you're right. That does sound very Slytherin-esque, but at the same time, that does sound a lot like Gryffindor. She's a toss-up. I'm gonna agree with both of you, but right now, go ahead on your part, kiddo. Why you think Gryffindor?
Part of the reason why I think Gryffindor is kind of the same way that you were looking at it for Slytherin, Sean. That
right.
She definitely is very protective of all of her friends, especially Ren. And for her, it's not because of the fact that she thinks it's quote unquote the right thing to do. It's because of the fact that she loves a good challenge. And she definitely has that mentality of, I just want to beat you and I just want to have a good time. Definitely leads her into the Hufflepuff kind of range or Slytherin. But she also has her own morals and everything. And it doesn't help the fact that when she was a kid, her and Ren were all by themselves.
All by themselves.
They had to fight to survive.
Right.
I'm gonna be the one to abstain from this vote because I really can't give my opinion on either way. Because she could fit well into either house in the same manner, with it being her loyalty to Ren could make her work with Hufflepuff as well.
Very true. For this one, guys, you decide. Which house do you think Nora should be in?
Oh, she exploded. She crater faced again.
Okay. The next two members of Team Juniper, I think we actually agreed unanimously on both of them.
It pretty much was immediately unanimous for both.
For Pyrrha, I think we all discussed it, and we all decided for her to be a Hufflepuff.
Right.
Yeah, because her hard work, the patience she shows with Jean, the justice she seeks when she goes after Cinder, and the sheer loyalty she has to Team Juniper, she's 100% Hufflepuff.
And the reasoning I think for Pyrrha for Hufflepuff is kind of weird, but let's see if I can explain this. If I were to put Pyrrha in the world of Harry Potter, I would think that she would be like her family is like pure blood and they all assume, oh, you're going to be put into Gryffindor because all of your family members have been put into Gryffindor before you and blah blah blah. But like everyone puts her like in RWBY, they put her up on a pedestal for her to be in Gryffindor. But
yeah, they expected in the series, even if I remember correctly, they said that they expected Pyrrha to be a team leader, and she wasn't.
Yeah, and for like I would assume for her first day when she gets sorted, like she goes up and the sorting hat actually says, "Oh, I see a bit of Gryffindor in you," and she actually asks the hat, "Please, anywhere but Gryffindor, anywhere but Gryffindor," and then the hat is just.
I have created a new house just for you, Gryffindor.
And the hat actually finds more attributes of Hufflepuff, so he just is like, Hufflepuff! That's how my reasoning for it, anyway.
I could see it, yeah. I mean, I think, John, you'll agree with me as well with this, and I know, as Kiddo was saying, with her, with the sheer kindness she embodied, she would fit very well with Hufflepuff. And honestly, I believe the founder of Hufflepuff itself, Helga, would probably absolutely love her.
Yeah.
Right.
And the simple fact also, their element is Earth, and she's, well, a magnet, for lack of a better term. She also fits well in there with her abilities.
Very true. All right, the last team member of Team Juniper.
Ren.
And it was unanimous. Ravenclaw.
Yeah, 100% Ravenclaw. Because he is probably, I'm willing to bet all my alcohol in my flask. And no, kiddo, it's not going to you. I'll give it to Johnny boy before I give it to you.
Aw.
I would be willing to bet with 100% guarantee, Ren is likely at least the third smartest character in all of RWBY.
In Team Juniper, I think he was the second smartest on the team next to probably Pyrrha. And in the entire series, I would totally agree with you, Crow, that he would probably be the third smartest character in the entire series.
Yeah, I would say it would go Ozpin, then Pyrrha, then Ren.
Especially on the good side.
Yeah, on the good side, yes.
Yeah. And for Ren, it doesn't help the fact that in Volume 5, RWBY kept on saying, Ren gets very philosophical when he wants to speak.
No, you said, it turns out he likes to be really deep when he decides to talk.
Yeah, or something like on those
Ren's
really
lines. Deep when he speaks.
Yeah, around there. And
come on.
And
I don't know lines that well. I'm sorry.
And the way he explained an aura to both Oscar and even explaining it to Jean, it was almost like Ren was a teacher already.
Very true, very true. And funny enough, there's this one YouTube series that is that gives the inner monologue of certain RWBY characters and
what they really think.
Yeah, what they really think. And RWBY actually made a fairly good point that Ren could possibly be a better teacher than Ozpin if he wanted to.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I would say, I'm going to be honest, I see Ren, if the series lasts till when they're grown up, and if they don't lose any more people in it, that I could actually see Ren becoming a teacher at either the rebuilt Beacon or one of the other schools, possibly even a headmaster.
I could totally see that happening.
I can too.
I could see him taking over for Leo, taking over Vale as the headmaster.
Yeah. And do you want to continue with the other teams, or?
Yeah, we can continue. We can continue talking about them, and even the teachers, like where we thought they might be.
All right. How about we discuss only 2 members of Team Sun, because we only know Team Sun that well, and the former team Stark. How about that?
I can work with that, kiddo, as long as
All
you
right.
don't make me cry. Summer, I need a drink.
You can drink later.
You go drink later and go fall off the couch later too. So there you go.
All right, for the team leader of Team Sun, we have actually three houses down for him. We put down Ravenclaw, Slytherin, or Hufflepuff.
Yeah, and we're talking about Sun himself.
Yeah, not the physical Sun.
Well, he is Blake's son. Aww. But to weigh in on it, I'm going to more lean for him towards Gryffindor.
Really?
Yeah, and it's because of the sheer amount of bravery he has shown and the chivalry he has shown towards Blake. How he's willing to literally put her before himself when he followed her, took a hit for her, all of that. He embodies to me the values that Gryffindor seems to hold.
I will agree with that.
For me, I think he's more of a Hufflepuff, mostly because of the fact that he's extremely loyal to the Faunus and Blake, mostly Blake. Like you said, he was willing to do anything to protect her. He took a hit for her and just followed her around to make sure that she was safe. So I definitely see a lot more of a Hufflepuff for him, but I definitely understand your argument for Gryffindor.
Yeah, I mean, it can be both. I mean, we did say Ravenclaw a little bit, but the problem is the only thing he has from Ravenclaw is the creativity aspect. He's very
and
creative
somewhat street smart.
Right. He's very creative in his adaptability.
Yeah.
But the other two is where he shines.
Yes, very much so. So, guys, let us know in the comments section. Get the discussion going.
Yes, let us know.
Let us know. Yes. Tell us. One of us. One of us.
All right. Next is the wannabe.
The wannabe playboy.
Yes.
He's trying to emulate me too much. Can't succeed.
Oh, the jackass is afraid of water.
Yep.
Yep.
For
Neptune
him,
Vasilla, whatever.
However the fuck you want to say his last name. Anyway.
Well, he can go fly. He can go jump off a bridge.
John.
He fucking said no. He said no to Weiss. Damn it! I had to fucking tell him to stop being so cool, so he could actually talk to this stupid little bastard.
Calm down. Anyway,
I had to wear a dress because of him.
For Neptune, we were thinking either Gryffindor or Slytherin. Have your thoughts changed since then?
My thoughts lean more towards Slytherin with him.
Slytherin.
I would definitely say more towards Slytherin, because I definitely see him as like what Professor Slughorn said about Slytherins, that they're brave but not stupid.
Right, and the other funny part, other reason is I think it would just be hilarious because Slytherin's element is water.
So the entire time he's just like, eh, eh,
Yeah,
eh.
and he does have the ambition. He's constantly trying to be in the spotlight, be resourceful in showing off, but I do say he is pretty well in the Slytherin household.
Yeah, I can kind of see. Yeah, I can definitely see that. If you guys have any other ideas for what other house he could be in, let us know. And this one will be, the next team is going to be somewhat emotional, maybe. I don't know, but
Summer!
Team Stark.
Oh.
And we're going to be starting off with Mom, aka Summer.
Short stack. Hell
Yep.
of a woman.
And as we were saying excuse me, I'll rephrase that. As I was saying about Summer, I can't really put her into a house because we haven't seen her. We've only heard her mentioned, but we haven't really seen her, so we don't know her abilities. We don't know who she was. No offense, Ruby. That's
fine.
That's why me personally, I can't put her into a house, but that's me.
Right. It
For
is
me,
difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult to put someone in a house that you don't really know who they are. Kind of the reason why we didn't include the rest of Team Sun, because we just don't know what they are.
Sage or Sky very well. I think that's their names.
However you want to say their names.
Exactly
Anyway,
what we didn't include the rest of Team Sun. So yeah.
Doesn't matter, but anyway. But for this team, we're actually going to be doing something a little bit extra. We're actually going to be putting down like what classes they would teach in Hogwarts if they were teachers.
Yeah,
for Summer,
because well, let's face facts. We aren't kids anymore.
Very true. And for Summer, I actually could see her as a Hufflepuff like Ruby.
I could see her either as, if we were to go with a house, definitely either Hufflepuff or Gryffindor. But until we learn more about her, kiddo, I'm going to say we should leave it to what the listeners are going to suggest for it as well, and then weigh in on that later on.
Yeah, totally. Like,
I will agree.
If you guys have any ideas for what Summer should be in, let us know. But as for a teacher, I could actually see her kind of being like a Hagrid kind of character, like being in charge of all the animals and everything.
Either as Hagrid or, again, because we don't really know much about her, possibly herbology.
Very true. Again, if you guys have ideas, let us know. We crave it.
So we can't stress it enough, guys. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, just get the discussion going. And now, for the old drunkle himself, Crow. We should really just ask you, Crow. Where do you think Crow would be?
Well,
what the hell would you teach it, asshole?
Well, I technically I was in one house and they threw me out because I drank all the alcohol when I was only 15. I started off in Hufflepuff, but I ended up in Ravenclaw.
Funny enough, in my notes, I actually put down either Slytherin or Gryffindor. And in all honesty, I can kind of see you as a Gryffindor. And as for what class he would teach, I have a really funny idea for what he could be. My one friend actually gave me this idea that Crow would be a potions teacher and a potions master, so he can make his own beer.
I did make my own beer. The problem is, I drank it all and never sold it, so I kind of was told not to make it again. It kind of sucked.
No, you would only make it for yourself.
No,
Of
I
course.
made it for my team. I made it for Ty and Raven and Summer. How do you think Ty got both of them? He took my beer and gave it to them. Dick.
Speaking of Ty, he's next, and we put down Gryffindor or Hufflepuff for him, just like Summer and RWBY.
Yeah, the reason for that is, again, he's very patient with the kids. He has 2 children, for God's sake. He's very patient with the children. He understands them. He teaches them. He was very patient with Yang after she lost her brain cells as well as her arm.
Oh.
But at the same time, he has the courage and bravery. I mean, he was part of Stark. He was part of one of the strongest, most well-known teams in all of Remnant.
Yeah, and in all honesty, I actually kind of think that Ty was probably one of the most was the physically strongest member of Team Stark.
I would agree. I would say physically strongest, yes. He would probably be... He was the damage dealer.
Yeah, and because of this, I actually kind of think of him as a Hufflepuff and also the Quidditch coach for Team Hufflepuff.
Yes, I could see him being the coach.
Right.
Would you agree, Jean?
I will agree with that.
And funny enough, during my Jean speed paint, I actually made Jean the seeker of the team, so I can just imagine Ty screaming at Jean, "Make sure to get that snitch! You got a kid!"
Yeah, Ty would be like that. He gets a little bit wound up when it comes to sports.
Yep, and I can only imagine what would happen if he faced Yang, because I made Yang a keeper for Gryffindor.
Kid, you're gonna need to have braces on your legs when she's done with you.
Yep. And finally, the
bitch.
Crow. I was about ready to ask. Crow, how would you describe her?
Bitch. Other various things I don't want to say in front of my niece.
Raven. For her, we put down Ravenclaw. Well, obviously. And Slytherin. But I'm leaning more towards Slytherin. Because she is very, very cunning.
Yeah, and she has the leadership role and her resourcefulness and her ambition. Right. I know we said Ravenclaw because of the creativity and intelligence and wit, but all the other stuff, how she leads the bandits after I left, her resourcefulness in doing so, her cunning at outwitting people, she even tricked us, kiddo.
I know.
And her ambition to protect all of us. Yeah, I'm going to side with you on that one, kiddo, and I'm going to say Slytherin.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, I was also talking about, I would have to say Gryffindor too, but because, and Crow, I know how, and trust me, I'm not happy with her either, with how she pretty much betrayed us to side with Cinder and them, but here's the thing. The reason why I say Gryffindor is because she still deeply cares about Yang and RWBY and them. She still deeply cares. She doesn't really show it, but she still does. Because especially
Very
with that,
true.
Because at the end, has a weird way of showing it, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right, because I mean, especially when Raven looked at Yang, and she's like, "You don't want to do this," and that was her way of showing and plus saving her from Neo. That was her way of showing that she cared. As much, she doesn't really show it all too often, but you get where I'm getting at with that.
Yeah. And as for what she would teach, I actually think of her as a defense against the dark arts.
Yeah, I'm going to wholeheartedly agree on that one.
What do you think, Jean?
I would definitely agree with you on that one. She's basically to me, she's kind of the Snape of RWBY in a way.
Except for the fact that she probably doesn't have a deep, dark, secret love for someone, but for all we know, it could be Ty, but
well. She does love Ty. As much as it pains me to admit, my sister did love him.
Yep. And I think that's all we're going to do for now, but if you guys want us to do a part 2, we'll do it. It was definitely a lot of fun to research these topics and everything.
Right.
Actually, before we end this part, there's actually one more. That's Ozpin being Dumbledore, most definitely.
Yep, he's definitely Gryffindor and the headmaster.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and let's go one last one before we go. Mostly because I know in my mind, kiddo, I don't know if you think so, they're going to want to hear what our thoughts are on where Salem lies.
In all honesty, she would probably be a Slytherin, and she would
be Voldemort.
Yeah, basically. She's basically the remnants version of Voldemort.
Except when we say her name, she doesn't come for us.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, she is!
Oh, no!
But
Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe for this video. Bye! Ah!